What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Credit Corner on Keeping It Real with Credit. My name is Giovanna, and on today's episode, I'm going to be walking you through how we were able to remove a medical collection from one of our clients' credit report. Now, before we get into that, I want to give you a little bit of a background as to how this collection even appeared on this client's credit report and what exactly is it that happened. So, when this client started with us, she did not have this account on her credit report. She had notified us that she got an alert on her Credit Karma saying that there was a new collection that was added. Now, she didn't necessarily say that she didn't know what this was for or that she didn't recognize it. She just really wasn't sure where this was coming from and why she was being billed a little bit over $2,000.
This is going to cost you.
Put it on my tab.
What was that?
Put it on my tab.
In order to get something deleted from a credit report, we need to be able to prove that the information is inaccurate, unverifiable, or incomplete, right? It has to meet one of those criteria, because if the account is reporting accurately or the information is verifiable, even if it's negative and you don't want it on there, it doesn't mean that it's going to get removed or should be removed. Information that's negative but accurate is going to stay on your credit report. So when we are looking through clients' credit reports during our consultations to determine whether or not you are a good fit for our program and whether or not you truly need credit repair, we are taking a look at the full credit report. We're going line by line to see if we can find any indicators that can, more or less tell us, hey, should we dispute this? Is it inaccurate? Could it be inaccurate? Could it be unverifiable? Or is there any information that's missing or incomplete? So again, we want to make sure that we are looking through that credit report line by line to see if there's any indication of that in order to determine whether or not something might be able to be removed from the report. And now when we send off those dispute letters challenging the information, the letters don't have to be complicated. I know some of you go and buy these, templates online, or you want to use like all this fancy language in your letters like Metro 2, or you're stating quotes like statues and all this legal verbiage. The letters don't have to be complex. It's not a magic letter that's going to get your collection or your repo or your charge off or late payment removed. It's what you can prove to the credit bureaus that, again, demonstrates that that information is inaccurate, unverifiable, or incomplete, and justify why the information should not be reporting on your credit report. So to give you an example of that, I'm going to show you how this account was reporting on our client's credit report. So again, these are the same exact steps that we take when we're doing consultations. We're taking a look at the name of this account. So for example, this specific collection is with a company called Consumer Adjustment. The original creditor is Paragon Contracting Services. Again, our client never said that she had no idea what this was. She just wasn't really sure who these people were. She just wasn't really familiar with Paragon or Consumer Adjustment. We take a look at the account number. In this case, for example, the account numbers are reporting exactly the same across the three bureaus. The account type on all three bureaus is showing that it's a collection. The account type, again, also in more detail, says that it's collection. Bureau code, individual, account status, derogatory, date opened. This is where we see the first set of information that, again, we don't know without even initiating a dispute or requesting more documentation whether this is inaccurate or not. But when we're looking at the information, something is off, because how is TransUnion showing that this account was opened October 27th, 2022, and Experian, for example, is showing October 1st, 2022. Equifax says the same thing, October 1st. Remember, information gets reported to the credit bureaus by the furnisher or the source, in this case, consumer adjustment. It doesn't make any sense how consumer adjustment sends information to the three bureaus, but one of the bureaus is reporting something differently. Because then our question is, well, which one is the accurate date? The next thing that we're looking at is the balance. Okay, the balance looks exactly the same across the three bureaus. High credit is the same. There's no credit limit or number of months or terms because this isn't a loan, and there is no past due amount. The payment status shows collection charge off. Again, so far everything is matching, and then the date last reported as well looks exactly the same. Now, where we are able to find a little bit more information as to what this could be for is in the comments. So, for example, TransUnion and Experian, they just say that the information was disputed, nothing else. Equifax is the only bureau that says medical. So that is really the only indicator that we had that this was a medical debt, because Equifax was saying it. The other two bureaus didn't even say it at all. And then the last information that we have here is the date of last activity. So again, how is TransUnion and Equifax reporting the date of last activity as January 1st, 2023, but Experian is saying October 1st, 2022? We're talking about a few months difference in dates. So again, when we're looking at this, and again, whether or not this is something that you're doing yourself or you decide to hire us to do it for you, these are the things that you should be looking for in order to determine whether or not something might be reporting inaccurately or with incomplete information, or that it might be unverifiable. We don't know until we initiate an investigation with the credit bureaus and we see the response back, whether the information was verified, updated, or deleted. And if it is verified as accurate, then we need to go to the furnisher or the source, whether it's the creditor, the collection agency, whoever it is that is reporting this information. Those are the people that you need to contact to ask for more documentation and information. It's within that paperwork that you're going to find where those errors or inaccuracies are. Or in some cases, they don't even have what you're asking for, and they end up responding back that because they couldn't verify the account, well, they ended up deleting it from the credit report. If this account would have been reporting when the client signed up with us, we would have taken a completely different approach. But because our client told us, hey, this just randomly popped up on my Credit Karma, we take a completely different approach, because we know that debt collectors have to follow certain laws before they can report information on your credit report. So I'm going to show you exactly what that is. So we're going to take a look at what the CFPB says. And they have an article here, which is, when can a debt collector report my debt to a credit reporting company? So the CFPB's debt collection rule requires debt collectors to take certain steps before reporting a debt to a credit reporting company. And if we scroll a little bit further, we're going to see the specifics. So here it is. 1, they have to speak with you in person about the debt, or they have to speak with you by telephone about the debt, or they have to mail you a letter about the debt and wait a reasonable amount of time, generally 14 days, for a notice that the letter wasn't delivered. Or the last one, send you an electronic communication about the debt and wait a reasonable amount of time, generally 14 days, for a notice that the message wasn't delivered. So again, what does that mean? It means that the debt collector needed to have contacted you about the debt before reporting it on your credit. Now, we asked our client, did this collection agency ever contact you about the debt? And she confirmed that she had not received anything from Consumer Adjustment Company. She did check in her emails and she found that she was receiving notifications from Paragon Contracting Services, who's listed as the original creditor, but because she just didn't recognize who that company was, she thought it was spam and she ignored it. So we did our due diligence and we said, okay, let's find out who Paragon Contracting Services is. Is this, because again, Equifax says it's medical. Is this a hospital? Is this a clinic? Who is Paragon? So I'm going to pull it up here and show you. When we looked up Paragon Contracting Services, all we found online is that they're a debt collection agency focused on collecting medical debt from healthcare facilities in Florida. So again, that's very vague information because it seems like Paragon purchased a debt from somebody else, from another healthcare facility, and it appears that this new collection agency, Consumer Adjustment, is now the one collecting the debt. Again, very confusing. So we decided to send a direct dispute to Consumer Adjustment Company, and I'm going to show you now exactly what we sent, what the letter said, and why. So pulling that up here for you. So the very first thing with the address, I wanted to make sure that I emphasize this. We went on that debt collector's website, and keep in mind, most debt collectors, they have a website. We wanted to clarify and confirm what address to send that letter to, just to make sure that it gets to where it needs to go. And we requested, the first thing we said was that we disputed any and all debts that you claim to have on me. And the reason why this is important is because even though that debt collector was reporting one debt, doesn't mean that they might not have other debts that they aren't reporting. So we just wanted to make sure that we're disputing any and all debts that you might have. So then we also said that we wanted to request specific documentation. So the very first thing that we asked for is a copy of the contract. Why? Because we want to know what the terms are. We want to know, well, is there some sort of obligation between our client and this original creditor, right? Remember, the burden of proof is always going to be on the bureau and the original creditor or the furnisher of information. They're the ones who need to prove to you that something is legit, that this is a valid debt. So we're asking them, well, where's the proof that our client owes any money to this creditor? Where's the proof that there was ever a contract or anything signed? The next thing that we're asking for is a copy of the purchase agreement. So the purchase agreement, meaning where is the sale between the original creditor and the debt collector? Because the next thing is, well, prove, right, that you actually own this debt. So the first part is, well, prove to me that I owe the debt. And now I need you to also prove to me that you own it, that you bought it, because how does anybody know, or you or I know, that this debt collector bought the debt from Paragon? We need that proof. And the last thing that we're asking for is, well, show us a statement, showing how you even came to the conclusion that there was a balance of $2,027 owed. Why is that important? Well, okay, fine. You can just tell me that I owe you $2,000, but how did that even get calculated? Were there any fees? Was there any interest? Where is this amount coming from? So we asked for all of that information, and we sent that letter by certified mail. Again, you don't have to send your letter certified mail. You can send it regular mail. But here's the thing. If you don't have proof of when that letter got there, you don't have proof of delivery, then you have no way to keep track of whether or not, first of all, that your letter even arrived, and to hold them accountable to the 30-day time frame that they have to respond back to you. So that's specifically, again, I kind of just want to go over everything. Why we made the decision and we put together the strategy to send a direct dispute to this debt collector who appeared on a credit report without any prior notification about this debt, and sent it certified mail, so that in the event that that debt collector did not respond to our client within the 30-day time frame, well, we have everything that we need to go ahead and turn this over to an attorney and escalate things even further. Because again, they're the ones who are not operating correctly, and we're just doing our due diligence to be able to prove that. Think of it like us playing chess, right? We already know or anticipate what types of responses are going to come back. We also hope that they won't be able to provide anything back and delete the information. But in the event that that we do need to escalate this, we have everything that we need. We have proof of the credit report and the account reporting. We have proof of the letters that we sent, as well as the information that we requested. And then we have the proof of when that letter got there in the event that they don't respond. So almost an entire month had passed and we hadn't received anything. I mean, that letter got delivered December 16, 2022, and our client kept checking in with us and telling us, I haven't received anything, I haven't received anything. Well, once the 30 days were up, we were like, okay, there's no response. What's the next thing we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and submit all of this paperwork and all this proof that we have to, again, help get this account deleted from our client's credit report. And last minute, literally after the 30-day mark, our client gets a letter in the mail, and I'm gonna pull that up for you right now. It was a response from Consumer Adjustment Company, and the letter is dated January 14th, 2023. And once again, it says the original creditors, Paragon Contracting Services, for a date of service, meaning when supposedly our client went to the doctor, the hospital, whatever it was, on August 3rd, 2021, with a balance of $2,027. And they wrote, Dear client, Consumer Adjustment Company received your dispute regarding the above listed account. Your account was placed in a dispute status. And this is important because the copy of the account that I'm going to go back and show you right now, you'll see that it says that the account information was disputed by the consumer. They put that note because I'm just going back a little bit. This report was from January. This happened in December. So they did put a note that the account was disputed. That's why you're seeing that dispute remark on that account. So they said, we placed the account in a dispute status and a validation request has been submitted to the creditor. Okay, so what does that mean? Consumer Adjustment Company received a dispute and they went ahead and contacted Paragon for more information. And it says, we have submitted a dispute record to the consumer reporting agencies. Fantastic. Now, what did they say on the next section? The creditor has not provided validation within a timely manner. What is the timely manner? 30 days from the date that they received the dispute letter. Again, we wouldn't have had any way to prove that had that letter not been sent certified mail. Consumer Adjustment Company has submitted a record of deletion to the consumer reporting agencies and returned your account to the creditor, meaning they are no longer collecting this debt and they're taking it off of the credit report. Fantastic. We got what we wanted. So this also says, to the credit reporting agencies and to whom this may concern, please accept this letter as written testimony of the deletion request and reconcile any discrepancies at once. This is important, and why it says please retain a copy for your records, because in the event that this account does not get deleted from the credit report, we can submit this letter to the bureaus as well as proof that this needs to be deleted from the credit report. So at the end of the day, we were able to get this removed from that client's credit report in literally 30 days because all we did is prove that this information is unverifiable. We sent a simple dispute to this debt collector asking for specific information. They were not able to prove it. And for that reason, they're going to go ahead and delete it from the report. No legal language, no crazy templates, no Metro 2. We're not doing anything crazy here. It's what steps did we take to prove that this account should not be reporting on the client's credit report. And again, it met one of the criteria: inaccurate, unverifiable, or incomplete. And in this case, this is an unverifiable debt and therefore cannot be reporting on the client's credit report.
We did it, baby! Woo! Woo!
So that's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this video of me walking you through how we were able to remove a medical collection of over $2,000 from our client's credit report in literally 30 days. So again, if this is something that you want to do on your own and follow along a similar process, or you want to hire us to do these types of disputes for you, make sure to click the link below and schedule a free consultation with us so that we can take a look at your credit report together. We want to make sure that we go line by line, just like I showed you, so that you can see where the discrepancies are, so that you understand that there might be information that can be challenged if it is reporting differently across the three bureaus. And that way we'll go ahead and give you a detailed audit on your entire credit report and see if you are a good fit for our program. So thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.